G'day folks, right, part 3 of this paintage of the old side panels. Just doing this indoors tonight because it's about 9 degrees in the garage and it's 24 degrees in here. We're in the old conservatory room, so it's nice and warm, so we'll do it in here. Paint's gone off nicely, nice finish, nice and solid. It's not finger marking. It's not making little marks or anything. That's nice and solid. It's gone off real tough, and it was 36 degrees in here today, so that really has helped. So really I'm just going to buff these back. Normally I would, in any other paint job, if I was doing it for someone else, I would have used the 1200 paper and flatten those down, get every little blemish out, and then buff and polish and get a lovely glass finish. Wet sanding, I think we all know it as. But I'm not going to wet sand these because, as I explained yesterday, I want them to have a factory finish. I want them to have a little bit of a texture to them so they look like a factory part. Because it is a bobber, I don't want a glass finish on it. I just don't want it to look too perfect. It's not in keeping with the bike. Finish wise, you know, to be honest, in another life you could just put them on, but I want to just give them a little bit of help. I just want to get some polishing. I just want to buff and cut them back a little bit. So I don't really know anybody who can't do this or hasn't done this before. It's ever so simple, but if you haven't and you've been following this and you think you want to do it yourself, I may as well give you kind of everything you might need. At this stage, wait till it's gone off and it's hard, and you can do that and it doesn't leave little fingernail dings in it, and that's nice and tough, ready to polish. What you need is some decent polish, kind of working backwards, some decent polish, good old T-cut, nothing fancy. A decent microfiber. These things are good. You can get them from car accessory shops, a microfiber shaggy rag, and that's good for just buffing off that final finish. That for just rubbing the stuff on, bit of kitchen paper and a couple of decent rags, bit of old t-shirt, and then just some elbow grease. Make it nice and shiny. So gonna get cracking on one of them and see if we can get a bit of a shine in it, and then show you the difference just to justify why you would do this. Then when I've done that, I'll do the other one, see if we can get them looking good. Stick around. Right, get cracking on the first one, cut the splosh. That one first. Give it a shake. When you do this, you can kind of feel the T-cut biting in. You can just sort of hisses. Kind of hear it working, taking paint off. Case of working up a little bit of a layer of the material and just gently massaging it in circles. And you can feel underneath the cloth, you can feel it change character as it starts to cut through the top layers, build a little bit of shine. There it is, a little bit of water in there as well, just helps it slip over it. You can gradually feel the surface of the job get softer, silkier, so it's just perseverance till you're happy. Not too much pressure, because again you'll dry out the T-cut and turn it into little waxy blobs which just do damage, take even hours to rub out now. And the cloths. And straight away It's made a change, it's gone a little bit silkier. But as soon as you put polish on that, that will come back a lovely gloss. It's just taken out some of that layer of waxiness that develops on the top of the paint. Let's keep going, get the first one done. Alright, down to polishing now. The T-cut is an abrasive, as we all know, and it does leave a bloom, and that's it. If y'all can see it shiny in the light. It's shiny and it's flat now, but it's got a definite sort of bloom to it, which is microscopic scratches that the T-cut's left, and then the polish takes over. And I'm using this Turtle Wax Colour Magic Black. So this has got a very, very, very mild abrasive in it, which takes over from that as a finer finish. And I've just done a little bit of a one coat with that, and that's started to come up a bit better already. So now it's just a case of elbow greasing this for the next probably half an hour or more on each one, just to really get them up and give them a good buff. And it's hard holding them while they're sliding about, so the final one will be done on the bike when they're solid and mounted and you can get some weight into it. But for now I'm just going to get them to a higher standard. That's just one wax over, that's raw T-cutted. So we start getting that up so they're both the same and trying to get that nice finish. Okay, just layering up the last layers of this polish. As I said, this Colour Magic stuff is a colour restorer, which means it's got a very, very mild abrasive in it. Really mild, nothing like T-cut. And that means that when you buff with T-cut, you always get a bloom to it, like a satinization, just microscopic scratches that take off the gloss or prevent it from shining as much as it can. And this stuff takes those out and obviously then waxes over the top. But it is an elbow grease job. You just got to keep layering it. Obviously it is really black because it's a coloured polish. You can get different colours. If you've got a red car you can get red, etc. blah blah blah. And the black's brilliant because black is the most likely colour to show swirl marks, and it takes out all the swirl marks, all the little bits of bloom, and as the polish itself is black it just gives it depth. Right, so here's one I did earlier. I was leaving it about 5 minutes to dry right off like a powder, and get a soft cloth and just buff it. As you can see, it just comes up lovely. And you can then see any other little bits of bloom or little bits of attention you need to give. There's that one. Right, going to get them buffed off. I think that's going to be it for tonight. And there they are. I think you'll agree. Looking a lot better. And they're not finished yet. I agree with, or I like to get everything as good as I can possibly get it. There's a couple of microscopic scratches just showing, which will stand out in the daylight. These are now up to a standard. Now what I said the other day, if you look, sort of get in at an angle here, you may or may not be able to see it, but sort of reflection, you can see there's a slight ripple to it. It's not glass perfect, which I could have got it if I'd just gone into it with some light paper first and taken that ripplage out and then polished it, but then it kind of looks like a liquid oil. Very nice, great for a show bike, but for a day-to-day bike it just looks a bit fake, as I said, and I wanted this factory finish, something that looks like you bought it, and I think that is pretty much it. I'm not unhappy with that at all. That ain't a bad job, even if it sees all myself. Now in the daylight tomorrow I'm going to leave them overnight because that polish is now quite thick, and you can make sort of little swirls in it because it's got a lot of polish on there. I'm going to leave that to set overnight, and again, I mean, it's pitch black now, it's 11 o'clock at night, and these will have the next 24 hours in that 35-degree heat for all that polish to set. And when I come back from work tomorrow, these are going to be just a little bit different to that, not quite as nice. So they'll get a couple more layers of the old Colour Magic just to get it nice, and then I'll get the fittings put back in and clip back on the bike. And once you get in the daylight, you'll see even more blemishes, and you just keep going until you can say that for you they are perfect enough. And you know me, bit OCD, I like everything as good as it can possibly get, and for an aerosol can job, I ain't unhappy with that at all. That's pretty good. So that's it, I'm off to bed now, gonna let them dry off, and I'll do the rest tomorrow. Take it easy. Thanks for watching Delboy's Garage. Bye now.